Hello, good evening, welcome to Easy 8's Online Painting Club once again for episode 127. My name's Danny, it says it right down there at the bottom of the screen, and I apologise for being just a tiny bit tardy there. I just had what I thought was a catastrophic failure of my audio system. Turns out I just changed it over from speakers to headset, so I couldn't hear anything. Sorted it out, we're all good, and we're ready to rock and roll. If you're new here to Easy 8, this isn't a tutorial show, a tutorial show, or anything like that. There's loads of stuff out there like that, and you should go and check them out because they're really, really cool. This is literally what it says on the tin. It's a painting club where you can come along, make some friends with these guys over here in the live chat, or you can like watch it back on the replay and kind of talk to us down there in the comment section as well if you want to. Got to stop all the pointing; it's unnecessary. And the idea is that you come along and just kind of paint your stuff because we're all guilty of having that huge pile of unpainted models in the background, just out of camera shot. We've all got it, just out of camera shot there, and we all need to just kind of crack on and paint it. And I've got loads that I want to paint, so you should feel free to bring your stuff along and paint it with me and with these crazy guys over here, and get some stuff done. If you like what we do, please don't forget that you can subscribe to us here on YouTube. Please do subscribe, it really makes my day. You can also hit the thumbs up button down there as well. So if you like the video, thumbs up. Thumbs up really makes my world go around. Thanks very much. So yeah, please do subscribe. 106 subscribers. It's been a bit of a rushed evening and I'm starting to trip over my words already. I will endeavour to slow down. Such is the glory and wonder of a live stream show. So I will try to calm myself down. We've got some people joining us in the live chat today. We've got Jeff, we've got Leslie making with the night over there. We've got Kez has just joined us as well. It was a great game of 40k 10th though. So I assume you've been playing 40k 10th edition. I can't wait to get my mitts on that game. Let's come away from this screen here. Please do subscribe to the show. It really helps me make this community a wonderful community, ever larger, and it only gets bigger if you talk about it and share about it and subscribe it. So please do, that'd be really, really helpful and kind. If you are painting something this evening, I genuinely would love to know. I'm not just saying that to kind of farm the likes or get the interest or anything like that. I genuinely am interested. That's why I do this show. So if you are painting something, let us know, either down there in the comments or over there in the live chat. Take a picture of it, stick it up on Facebook, because we're not just here, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, Instagram and Discord. You can find links to all of those platforms just down the bottom in the description, and if you like you can join me and maybe a few other people from the live chat as well over Discord at the end of the show, where you can go and have a chat with me at the Easy 8 after party. If you like, you can also share your pictures up there too. There's loads of stuff at Discord. Go and have a little look. It's pretty cool. Facebook seems to be pretty lively at the moment. Lots of stuff going on at Facebook. Cup of tea for a Friday. Cheers. Happy weekend, everybody. It is cooled down a lot over the last week. It's still quite close and quite warm, but that's an English summer for you. It's been raining a lot. I've been out in the rain for the last few days, and it's made it a bit nicer here in the studio. So I haven't got a fan on, I haven't got my feet in a bucket of water, I haven't got the aircon unit, the little thing that I bought a little while ago. That wasn't worth it. It hasn't got the guts to keep up with my computer. So it is just quite pleasant in here. Last week I had a nice little bit of feedback from some guys in the community talking to me about potentially white balance or exposure for the new camera here, and I've been playing with that, and I've actually set it up so that I could adjust it on the fly using my little dials over here as well. So do let me know if the brightness is good or not, or if there's anything else that you'd like me to try and adjust with the new workbench camera, because it's just got a better fidelity. I've just realised that I cleaned out my my paint water pot, but I've not put fresh water in there. Fortunately I have a little bit here. That's a bit silly. In the rush around trying to find a few bits and pieces before the show went live, I seem to have kind of rushed myself a little bit. Apologies. What can you do, eh? Anyway, last week I had a cracking week. I finished off my little avocado dinosaur. Where did I put him? Here he is. He's so cool. My little Ankylosaurus. He looks like an avocado underneath. I really like him. Some friends came up the other day and was like, oh, let's see it. And they really liked it as well. It was just a nice break from doing the regular sort of models that I do, being, anything like 40k related, which is my main thing, or historical 15mm is something that I like to do a lot as well. And it was a nice break away from that. However, it is time to go back to 40k. I've been doing quite a lot with my Skitari army, so my Adeptus Mechanicus. And use your tea. I always do. Yeah. No, this is for drinking. I'm not going to taint the flavour. I probably will now you've said that, won't I? And it'll be on on the internet forever and ever now. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's time to go back to doing some Tyranids because, yeah, I like Tyranids. They're my first love, really. I've got loads of other 40k stuff to use. Going to pull my chair in a bit closer. There's loads of 40k stuff that I've got to paint. I've got a selection of orcs and things to do as well. I've been given some Necrons to play around with. I've got some ideas about those as well. I've got some Space Marines because everyone's got Space Marines, right? It's the whole point, you're supposed to. Yeah, but Tyranids, Croaky. Tyranids is my first love. And I've really got to kind of do something with them. I've got a big box that Leslie in the live chat gave me ages and ages ago, and it's time to do something with them. Something that I've not done before, wings. So I'm going to take you on over to the workbench so you can have a little look at what I've got over there. Here we go. So here's my webcam. Hopefully the exposure is good. I can adjust it. So I can make it brighter or lighter or whatever. Let me know what you think. And hopefully it'll be nice. Zoom out a little bit here. That's why I got the new camera, really, so I can play with all the dials and I can adjust it in the game, in the actual stream. So I've got a load of these bad boys. These are gargoyles, flying critter Tyranids. I think they're exceptionally cool. I've never had any before because prior to these plastic models being released, the models I always thought were utterly rubbish. They looked awful, the sculpts were bad, it made no sense the way that they were kind of designed. They looked naff, and they are also made from white metal on tiny little flying columns like this. They just tip over, and they looked crap, quite frankly. These plastic models are brilliant. They're absolutely fantastic. The sculpts on the wings especially are really, really nice. They've got some really nice poses. And because they're plastic, it's really hard to knock them over. Now, these were 4 out of probably nearly 12 that I've got in the whole box. A few of them are painted because they were given to me in various different states. And that's no biggie at all. Most of my Tyranid collection is at this point. Because people like Leslie keep on giving me stuff, you very kind people that you are. But I just picked out 4. And the idea is to basically start from scratch, clean them up a little bit, and paint them. Now, I'm going to not even paint all 4 of them. I'm probably going to paint just 1, maybe 2, depending on how quickly things dry. Otherwise, I'd just be waiting for things to dry and not painting anything. The idea is to have a go, get them done quickly, because there's actually very little to them. There's a little bit of yellow, there's a little bit of carapace on them, which we all know that I like to do grey. Yellow skin, grey carapace. But the wings, I want to try something new with the wings. And yeah, I just thought that I'd just do 1 and see how far I get today. There's Leslie saying you're most welcome to. Thank you so much, man. It was really kind. Yeah, I just kind of want to get 1 done and have a little look, and then see if I can speed paint the rest of them. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. Now, I'm losing a little bit of fidelity on my camera. If you're seeing that flickering on my camera and it's bothering you, let me know. I've just noticed that at the corner of my eye there. I wonder why that is. Anyway, that's the plan. They do need a little bit of sprue cleaning up because there's a little bit of flashes on them. That'll take seconds to do. I'm also going to cut them off of the stands. The reason for that, 2 reasons. The first one is they're in funny positions that I'm not all that keen on. I can see why someone would do that, make them look a bit more dynamic. Maybe they were problematic getting them on there in the first place anyway. But it kind of looks like they're flying in all sorts of different directions. But actually, when I'm painting them, they're just going to get in the way. Especially if I use an airbrush and things like that, I'm just going to end up painting the stand. And unfortunately, they are poly-cemented in, which means that they're welded, plastically welded. And I tried removing one yesterday and just kind of gently twisting and kind of trying to work it out. But no, that poly-cement has done a good job, and I snapped it. That was to be expected. So it jumped a bit, but no bother, says Jeff. Okay, cool, lovely, thank you very much. I don't know why it's doing that. It's another problem for me to have a little look into. So, yeah, I'm just going to cut the stands out of them, and I will eventually drill out the little hole that's in there. If you have a little look here, you can see there's a little hole inside, just to kind of drill. There we go. There's a little hole just in there, and today I'm going to stick a skewer in there so that I can hold them nice and easily, and it would be easier for me to paint. And then the intention is, rather than using, I mean, I can buy these stands, but rather than using these ones, I'll try and keep the bases. I don't like clear bases. I would like to do something to them. but I will replace the whole stem. What I've got to do is find some replacement stems for it. So I've been looking to see if I can find some really nice flight stands. There isn't really an awful lot out there in the realms of, you know, nice looking flight stems. Oh yeah, it's a bit jumpy today, isn't it? What's going on there? So yeah, I'm just gonna probably see if I can find some like acrylic stem and just cut it down to the right length that I want. And if it's the right diameter, it won't look out of place. Glue it to the base and then kind of build some terrain and stuff around it. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I'm going to do. Yes. So, that one I snapped off. These ones I'll just kind of cut them off. To get started, I think I'll just pick maybe like the easiest one to paint. Probably is that one there. Got a little bit of sprue on them to clean up. And yeah, basically, I'm just going to have some fun with it. It does have a little bit of flashy flash on him, so maybe I won't go with that one. Maybe I'll go with this one, perhaps. I don't know. It's been a busy week. I did have a day off, but I just used that time to just chill out and do nothing and think about nothing because I really, really needed it. Sometimes you gotta. And yeah, I didn't get around to cleaning these up earlier on in the week. In fact, I only pulled them out yesterday from storage. So my bad. But it is nice to see a project right from the very beginning. So what I'm going to do... Is that one any better? Is that better? No, he's actually got quite a mould line on him there. If it is flickering that screen, I'm absolutely sorry. Absolutely, that's so British of me. Absolutely sorry. Yeah, I've got some nippers and I've got a blade and I'll just be able to kind of whiz all the little bits down that need to be whizzed. Making things up now, whiz. And I'm going to chop that stem out. Now, I've got some really good clippers here. These come from Red Grass Games. I bought these from Just Play in Liverpool online. You should definitely go and check them out. I think I've got a link to them in the description. Go and have a little look. If it's not there, go and find them because they're super cool. They're just a really nice nipper. Bladed on one side so that if they don't pinch them shut, they actually properly snip. Some of the cleanest snippers that I've ever used. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get right in there. I've just actually broken my snippers. That's excellent. Look at that. Cut that off. Must have been a weak spot on there. I've had those for ages. First time I've used them on the show. And I broke them. Wow, that's so cool. Wayland Games do clear acrylic rod. Quite cheap. Oh, excellent. Good to know. That's annoying. I was just singing their praises as well. Where did that other bit go? Did that go in my tea? Nope. Okay, cool. Well, do you know what? I got the job done. I got in there. I'm just going to cut that down if I can. Now that I'm missing the end of the snippers. Maybe Red Grass Game snippers aren't all that good. Okay, cool. I've deliberately kept it up nice and high as well, so that if I do want to go back to this for whatever reason I can, maybe I want to use it again in the future. Yeah, I'll have to clean the top up a little bit, but I can use that stand if I want to. That's a bit frustrating. But you know, I don't let things like that get me down. If I've got to buy new ones, I've got to buy new ones. So there's a couple of tiny little bits of flashy bit on him. You know, the little sprue marks or whatever that just need kind of removing. I can still use these clippers. These were the best clippers I've ever used. Trying to use the point that doesn't exist is very, very difficult. Might have to get in there with a blade in a minute. That's what makes this show so good, is it's completely unscripted and you get to see things as they happen. Well, he can go over there. That's annoying. Somewhere here I've got a tiny bit of sandpaper. And if I find a tough bit here, like just there, I can just take that down. This is not the finest sandpaper in the world, but if I just go gently, it will just take those little mould lines down a little bit. Nice. And I'm going to have to get like a little knifey knife or something Just gonna see what have I done with my knife. Oh, it's all the way over there. I was using it on my 3D printer the other day. Here we go. Big fan of Stanley knives. We call them Stanley knives because they're made mostly by the brand Stanley, but I think in America, I think they call them just craft knives. Same thing. How many times I've torn myself open with one of these through improper use, I can't even count on the fingers that I've got remaining. Now what I'm going to do, once I get these tiny little lumps taken off, is I'm going to hit him with some primer. Then I'm going to get some yellow on him, hand paint the grey on, and then I'll probably hand paint the fleshy colour on for the wings. I don't really know what colour to go with. I was thinking about just going for like a nice fleshy sort of colour. Keep it nice and simple, like the standard colour that you would see wings. And just try and keep it simple. See what, you know, like less is more. That's my standard rule, isn't it? And just see where it gets me, I think. Jeff says, my cutters did that. Remember, the new ones you bought me are really good. Yeah, I bought you some Red Grass Game ones at the same time, and you said that they did the same thing. So that wasn't a one-off. Do you know what? I take it back. Red Grass Games, your clippers break. Yeah, I bought you some new ones, didn't I? For those of you that might be tuning in, Jeff is my dad. Hi, Dad. There we go. Get rid of those tiny little bits there. And I think I've just got like a little bit left in the gun. There's a little bit there underneath what is the magazine, I think. This is one of the things I actually don't like about the Tyranid models, is that they make their guns look a little bit too much like a regular gun. So I don't think it should have like a magazine or a clip or something like that. I just don't think it should have it. A lot of their creatures also have things like bayonets and whatever. I just don't think that they should have them. It's not that, you know, a super intelligent giant space locust army wouldn't have things like that. They're supposed to know about things like that, but I just think it looks too similar. But I'm out of sculpting ideas, so I'll go with what they've made. That last little nubbin at the end there. Lovely. And I think I'm ready to go. Cool, so let me get a skewer. Got a whole load of those. I just found another knife. I've got some corkscrews. They're quite handy. But what I was actually thinking of doing was just holding him by a full-length skewer. Get a big drawer of cool stuff over here. All my bits and pieces and my modelling and whatnot. Got any already pre-cut? I do. Here we go. So here's one just with like a nice big long skewer on there, which I'm just going to put some super glue, hold him in there like that. I've got this so that I can hold it nice and easily. Really sorry about the flickering. That's really starting to do my head in, that is. I've got this cork so that I can hold it. Stop flickering now. Thank you. And if I want to, I can like just take it out, and I've got like a big polystyrene block so that I can like hold it and just jab the thing into it, if that makes sense. Cool. Thanks for that, Dad. He made that for me. So, let's just get some super glue. I also did that thing where I super glued the lid shut, so I have to open my super glue with pliers. Yeah, did that a little while ago. The super glue got kind of clogged up in the end, and I snipped the end off too much, and now it dries the lid shut, so yay me. Right, what I'm going to do is just put a blob inside. Doesn't have to be a massive amount. There we go. And now I've got some... I did have some spray activator, but I think I've actually kind of packed that away. I wasn't using it an awful lot, so I'll probably put that away somewhere. Yeah, that's okay, it's fine. This stuff does dry pretty quickly anyway. The problem with the activator I found is that you end up using loads more than you actually need, because it comes out in a spray. You don't have like a tiny control over it, if that makes sense. Just end up spraying everything with this horrible liquid, but it does dry pretty quickly, this glue. I feel a little bit unprepared today, but do you know what? Live show, deal with it. Could do with a bit more glue. Let's get a bit more in there. What I would really like to do with my Tyranids is at some point take them to Games Workshop and actually play a game of 10th edition using the new rules at Warhammer World. I'm hoping to do that at some point in October, because October is my birthday. I'm born on Halloween. I'm one of those guys, so I should have plenty of time to get a visit into to Warhammer World and play a game in my 41st year in the 41st millennium. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, right? And if you want to join me, just get in contact with me and come and play with me in Warhammer World with my Tyranid army that you've watched me paint. Hi Mike, you have joined us there. Regular IPA or rubbing alcohol does the same thing. Use a dropper to apply it. I've got some right here. Maybe I'll give that a go. Alright, it's being a bit tricksy. Let's do it. I've got a whole big bottle of it here. I'm going to be trying really careful with this, because you know me, I will get it everywhere. Okay, I've got some in a dropper. I have spilled that stuff everywhere as well. It doesn't matter if it's even held in properly. You can just sit there like that. Here we go. If this works, Michael. If this works. Yes, a tad too much. Yeah. Wasn't going to chuck it all over the place. Has it worked? Has it worked? Not so much. If it's going to be a real problem, I will just get on and paint it, stick a drill in it or something. Doesn't seem to want to be doing it. Okay, what I'll do, just to save some time, I'll have another go at that later on, see if I can sort that out. I will just get on and spray paint the primer on it, because I can hold it by the tail. It'll be okay. Worth having a go, though. Breaking my cutters live on stream has just kind of thrown me through a hoop a little bit. Let's get a little bit of paper down so I can spray without spraying all over my workbench. And very quickly, I'll just see if I can remove any of that super glue that I've just put in there. There's not an awful lot, just try and tidy it up a little bit. There we go, that'll do. Nice. Right, airbrush, get the compressor on. Lovely. See where my white primer is. There it is. White primer. Gonna give that a really good shake. Stick it up on the Warhammer because it needs it. It's been a while since I've used that. Everything's violently shaking on the table. Excellent. Rightio. End of last week's show, I gave the airbrush a really good clean out, so it should be working lovely today. Only got this one model to paint today, so I'm not going to worry too much about thinning it down. Just kind of want to get it covered, you know? People just want to see the paint go on, Danny. Got it, mate. Got it. Waz, yeah. Other than Vallejo, is there any other airbrush specific paints that y'all recommend? There are loads of paints out there that are really good, and I started to get really quite obsessive about this at one point. It's very easy to get like too far into it, I think, for someone with my obsessive head. So I try to stay away from hunting around for the perfect paints, or just alternative paints. Scale 75, Army Painter, to name just a couple. Yeah, even the Army Painter make good ones. I haven't already said those. Duncan Rhodes new paints, what are they called? Is it two thin coats? Is that the brand? Yeah, there's good stuff out there now. Let me know what you think about it if you do try any. But I'm one of those people that would just, I'd end up hyper-focusing, and do you know what? I get on with the paints that I use alright. Occasionally if I need like a new paint, I'll go and give them a try. But yeah, I try to stay clear of new paint hunting. AK Interactive, Ammo MIG, they're all good. Especially if you're after historical colours, those latter two are really, really, really good brands. Oh, I've gone through all that primer on that one model. Maybe I should have thinned it down a bit. I'm going to put a bit more in there because I can see that there's a couple of bits on there that need a little bit more. There we go. Oh, I've just put grey in there. Pay attention, Danny. They both look the same under the lights. There we go, let's get the white back out again. That's better. For me, it's Dulux. That is because you make and paint buildings and terrain, and it's cheap and effective. Also, just a really good colour range too. If you're building buildings and terrain, house paints are the way forward. Who would have thought it, right? See, it didn't need a skewer in the end. I will get that skewer on, by the way. Like that is happening. It's going to make my life so much easier. Just was being a bit of a pain in the backside live on the show. And you know, I've got a dodgy camera, I've broken my clippers, forgot my paint water. I'm having a great one today, and I'm not going to let it get me down. Clean that bad boy out. But do you notice how I'm not even phased? It's the kind of guy who I am. Nice. Right, let's get some yellow. While that guy dries, the yellow that I normally use is gold yellow from Vallejo. I do have it in a brush format as well. It's a really nice colour. I used to brush them on all the time, but it just takes forever. And eventually I bought an airbrush, so this is what I use now. Give that a good old shake. It's been a long time since I painted this as well. Let's give that a good old waz on the Easy 8 Wazomatic. How are the brightness levels, by the way? Are the brightness levels good today? Is it not enough? Do let me know in the live chat. Bring that lamp in a little bit closer, that's better. Yeah. Gonna hit this guy with a little bit of air because he needs it. And when it comes to putting the new acrylic rod in, I'm literally just going to drill a hole into him and push it in. So what I'll do is I will measure the top diameter of this part. I say the top because it tapers quite wider at the bottom. I'll measure the top, and that's all I need it to be really. Cut the bottom part off, the base bit, and then just stick the new rod onto it. That's the plan. Yeah, just find some nice acrylic rods. Turn them over, give them a nice little drying up on the top level there as well. Nice. Okie dokie. Right, let's get some yellow in. This yellow, as we've always done on the show, is so bright. When you first spray it on, it takes filters and washes to really kind of bring it down. It's a very loud yellow. It's almost comical when it first goes on. I'll put a couple of drops of flow improver in there and a little drop of thinner. No, do you know what? I don't know if it needs thinner. I'm not going to use thinner right now. I don't think it needs it. Give that a mix. Then of course I'm going to have to wash it off in my non-existent paint water. Idiot. Seems okay on my old computer, says Jeff. Excellent, thank you very much. I'm really sorry about the jumpiness. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Okie dokie. Nice and gentle then, here we go. Now, even though the wings, I'm going to paint them a different colour, I am just going to hit them all yellow anyway, because there's the little fingers in there that make up the fingers, those joints between all the leathery wing bits in there, and I want those to be nice and yellow, but also the yellow's a nice bright colour. When I go over like a fleshy colour, it shouldn't be too hard to at least in my head. Things have gone wrong so much today, who knows. It's so noisy, make the yellow shut up. I can't. It's the first level of assault when you're fighting my Tyranids. Yeah, when I put the fleshy colour on top, it should hopefully be nice and easy to cover up again. That's in my head. Like I say, at the moment, who knows? Make it shut up. Get that some air. Such a vibrant colour. Flip him over because he's a lovely golden brown or yellow. So it's just a case now of just layer upon layer, making sure it's got some air. One of the disadvantages of having quite a cool room is that the paint doesn't dry as quick. It's nice to have a paint that dries quick sometimes. Other times it's nice to have it where it takes its time. You know, you win some, you lose some. Leslie, you're back to painting Tyranids. How are you getting on with yours? Are you enjoying the process? Is it fun? Are you having fun playing with them? Have you gone for a particular hive in mind for the rule sets, or have you just gone with any old for now? You made up your own. I used to like to make my own armies, especially when it came to Space Marines when I first started. And I started doing that with Tyranids back in 3rd and 4th edition. And after a while I just kind of got bored of like making up my own things. I just kind of wanted to do something out of the book. So I started to do that. And I really enjoyed it. So I use the Jormungandr, if there's ever a mouthful to say, Hive Fleet, which I believe is like the Norse like giant serpent thing. So in the book their colour scheme is black, I think black skin, yellow armour, which looks a bit weird, but I went with grey armour, yellow skin, and I just kind of used their rules. I really liked them. They're all like tunnelling and things, which is cool. Hello staff, thanks for joining. Nice to see your name in the live chat again there, mate. Don't worry about being late, you haven't missed an awful lot, just me making error upon error upon error. I've got a slightly dodgy camera today, I apologise for that. I've already broken my clippers on screen, so that was good. That's made me really happy. At least the airbrush is behaving itself. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's a nice yellow, that, isn't it? I like it. The yellow is my favourite colour. That is one of the reasons why I chose it. That and the fact, as I've said probably a million times before, I got the idea to paint this colour scheme from just an image that was like on a Google search for colour schemes for Tyranids, and it was just like a cute Nids picture, just a couple of like Hormagaunts and things just painted in this kind of colour scheme, and they look really cute. But the colour scheme really suited them, so I was like, right, that's the colour scheme for me. It just looks good. I was like, I wonder if it looks good if I like paint it semi, like, you know, realistically. rather than just making it all cutesy-fied. And yeah, I just liked it. It was great. Just trying to make sure that wherever's got yellow, it's got a good coverage on there, because I don't want any little bits left over, because it'll just look rubbishy. Cool. Just get rid of whatever's left in the hopper there. I had a little bit left, that's nice. Cool. And wash that out. And for now, that is everything I need to do with the airbrush. So now I'm going to move over to using a standard brush. And I'm going to start painting the skin on the wings, because that's what I really want to concentrate on today. Like, I've done the grey loads and I've showcased that here on the show so you guys can see it and whatever, but today it's all about the wings. I'm really excited to get on with that. So while I'm just cleaning the airbrush up a little bit, I'm just going to let that little fella dry down there. We've still got a little while before the middle bit of the show, the intermission, that's what we call it. So yeah, just going to sit there for a second, just dry off, and then I'm going to just start hand painting the colours on. I might need to put like a white base down on the wings. Screaming Skull has a great pigmentation for that, and that's nice and close to a skin colour. So it might be that I need to kind of do that, which is fine. Right, that can sit over there for a minute. Let's shut that down. Don't need that anymore. I'm gonna put some water in my cleaning jar, because that was just a silly move. That was just me rushing around. At least I can clean the brush off there. Can't believe I broke my clippers. Crazy. So just for those of you that have only just tuned in, that happened. Snip, just went. Crazy. I'll find a replacement for it. So Jeff says, how the hell are you going to paint rippers in those colours? Well, I'm just going to spray them down. I'm just literally going to cover them all in one big go. I've got the big hordes of rippers that you bought me years ago for like a present from Forge World, and there's just masses and masses. I'm just going to paint them all yellow, wash them all down, and then oh, my cover on my seat's moved. Then I'm just going to just like do the grey for all of the carapace on them, nice and easy, I think. But yeah, I like this guy. I think it looks really cool. Just going to move this, don't need that anymore. Here we go. So I've got some fleshy colours that I can use. I've got elf skin tone. I've got flesh, which is a little bit on the pinky side. I think this one's quite a nice one. What else have I got? I've got dwarf skin, which is a little bit more bronzy as a flesh colour. Really sorry about the quality of video there. I really don't know what's going on. It needs to knock it off. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I might use this one, I think. It's another fleshy colour there. And I think I'm just going to like wash them down with Seraphim. And Seraphim is great because I use Seraphim on the yellow, so any overspill will be nice and easy to handle. I'm definitely going to have to paint on a base, because this is not, especially as an airbrush colour, it's definitely not going. Oh, it's definitely not going to have the ability to cover well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come away from the workbench a minute, and I'm going to go back to me. And I wonder if like moving away from the webcam is going to like reset it or do something, because it's really struggling today. Anyway, let's go back. Behave yourself. No need for it. Leslie says, "Oh, it's epic. So my hive is called Polyartis. The colour scheme I've gone for is simple, about 6 colours in all, plus shades. As for playing, I've won 1 and lost 1, but it's all still cool. Oh, lost 3. Sorry, you've won 1 and lost 3. Yeah, it's not about the winning. I mean, when you do win, you should definitely rub it in your opponent's face, because then it's about winning. But yeah." Mike says, Lindstrom flush cutters for the win. I've used them on trains, helicopters, and my model. Still sharp, great quality. I was going to say exactly the same thing about mine, and what I did, and then as I was cutting with them, ping, gone. So yeah, that's a shame. What I was trying to say as they broke is that like one side is the sharper side and the other side's it kind of goes down to a point, but it's not like a sharpened edge. And the idea is that you hold it against one side and you snip into it, and it stops you kind of getting like sort of triangular cut shapes as you kind of slice into something. Once I learned how to do that, I think you hold it against the actual cutting edge, and then you kind of sweep in with the other flatter side, and you got these wonderful cuts on it. Just broke though. That's a shame, because they were good and they were in my only set. Right, let's get some Screaming Skull. And I'm going to mix that down maybe with a tiny bit of flow improver. Even though it's for the airbrush, it will work just as fine on normal brush. And it will allow it to kind of go on nice and smooth, a little bit thinner. And give me a nice little base coat to paint flesh colours on. There we go. I'll use my number 2 Kolinsky for a minute. These little Games Workshop pots, they're really difficult to use. They just keep on popping close all the time. I'm hoping to go to Games Workshop tomorrow so that I can go and get some more Screaming Skull and Ceratum Sepia. I'm starting to get low on them. Flow Improver is a good thinner, so if you use thinner as well as Flow Improver, depending on the consistency you want to get, Flow Improver does a good job of diluting things down. Just wash that paint out in my very tiny amount of paint water. One idiot. And where's my number 1? That's my number 0. Here's my number 1. Lovely. Get a little bit of paint on there. Leslie says, the first game I didn't lose a model, that Kez is a great player and has mastered her army, which means that they're bullies. yeah, don't take it, man. Don't take it. Okie dokie. So, get a really nice coverage here. Now this isn't the colour that I'm going to be painting, obviously. This is so that I can have a good base layer to put the skin colour on top of. Absolutely love this colour paint. It's a real workhorse paint for me as well. I use it for like bone colours, anything that's going to be off-white I'll use it for, but I also use it exactly for this as a nice sort of base layer to kind of bring the brightness back into the model that I'm, the area of the model that I'm going to be painting. It's perfect for this exact thing, because you could put white over the top of this and it's bright enough to bring the vibrancy back out in white. But white doesn't have the guts generally to cover well. That is smooth, really, really smooth. like the tatty edges and the little holes in them as well. That just, even though I suppose it's kind of cliche, nice little touch. This bit goes all the way down to his little stumpy legs that have been like hyper evolved to kind of give him some sort of rudder control. It's like a giant angry flying squirrel. And these are the sorts of creatures that you'll encounter early on in the stages of a Tyranid invasion. You'll get bombarded by all like loads of spores and mines and things like that. Just wipe out as much as they possibly can, and then these ones will swiftly follow behind it because, well, yeah, they can fly down, right? Cover vast distances really, really quickly. Air superiority early on, but they throw so many at you it blots out the sun. Well, that along with the spores as well. And they get carried from orbit underneath giant, super heavy flyers called harridans, big enough to like cover this whole table as a harridan. And yeah, I was reading a novel about a Tyranid invasion, and even though that the harridans are enormous, and you'd think that they would be like an expensive asset to a degree, however, Tyranids value worth. But they were basically just kamikazing them into runways and parked aircraft and things. Don't care about if they lose the biomass, because the idea is that you're going to win and you'll get it back later on, right? It's like the idea of just flying a giant creature, basically a space dragon, into your parked aircraft on the airfield. Stops you from using it, and we've got more. Quite nice, isn't it? I like that. I quite like it as a colour. But I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to paint the underside of it as well. It's really therapeutic painting this. I've been really looking forward to painting wings on my Tyranids for a long time, because I've got some other winged creatures. I think I've got a harpy, which is nice, which is one of the dedicated flyers, and that's a big flyer. But I've also got one of the quite rare now out of production 4-year-old hive tyrants with wings. The reason it's out of production is because they changed how the hive tyrant looked in recent editions, and they've moved away from the Geiger style alien queen look, because, well, let's be honest, it kind of looked like that. Leslie says this looks cool. Thank you very much, ma'am. It's such a lovely colour paint to work with, is this screaming skull, and it's going on so smoothly, and it's literally just diluted down with just a little bit of flow improver. Bit sticky, dragging a little bit. Yeah, I like that colour. Yeah, says Jeff. It is a nice colour. I'm gonna have a little look with this fleshy colour over the top and see the difference in it. Because the problem is if I use this colour and put a brown filter on it like I normally do, it's gonna look exactly the same as my bone colour. So I want it to look different. not so worried about what it looks like from the underside, because that is an area that you're not really going to see on it. Although, you know me, I've got to do the best I can, even on the underside. So I've just got to try and learn to, you know, not go bonkers. Especially as this is a horde creature. I think they come in, I mean, Leslie might be able to tell me, I think they come in sets of 8 that might have changed to 6 in the newer rules. But yeah, you get a few of them. I've just realised that there's another part to this top part here, look, behind the thumb, just up here. That's cool. I like it. Gonna be a bit tricky just getting in on the underside there. Nice. Looking alright. I like it. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too many light colours near each other, but we'll see. When I put the fleshy colour on in a minute, it should kind of give me a better idea what the colour's going to look like. And then once that colour's on, like I said, I'm going to stain it with some Seraphim Sepia as well, which is a great colour to go to. Anyway, let's move away from here. Everything's being a bit janky. I actually think it's my computer might have like an update going on in the background, so that's a little bit annoying. That might be why everything's kind of going a little bit clunky today. Yeah, I've also, as you can see, I've sorted out the other video just here, but it's all kind of not working very well. Look at that. That's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, look, we're going to go and have a quick break, and I'm going to see if I can get this skewer stuck on the inside here, and definitely going to go get some paint water, because I did not do that properly before the show started. What day? I love it when things go wrong. Jeff says, might be nice when you get the new rods to do them all at different heights. That is the main reason why I wanted to do that, was so that I could have them all at different heights and to change the kind of angles that are. I didn't like them all kind of like flying upwards. They didn't have the head position to make it look right in my mind. So yeah, to kind of chop them all off, kind of readdress how they're sort of positioned on there, and yeah, have them at different heights. I don't want them like crazy heights or anything, but one of the things that's going to happen is they're all going to kind of crash up against each other, aren't they? But if I can like slot them underneath each other and over the top of each other, then that would be quite nice, I think. So if you've got a link to that thing for Element Games, did you say? Or Wayland Games, wherever it was you found those acrylic links, those acrylic rods, please send me a link to them, or put them on Facebook, send them to me privately if you want to, whatever, because I would love to have a look at those and get them done, because over the next few weeks I hope to get quite a few of these done. That's my plan. Anyway, I'm going to go for a break, go change the paint water, I'm going to go get some. Bye! Welcome back. I hope you've had a nice break. I went and actually got some paint water so that I can do what it is that I do properly because I'm stupid. I've also been shaving down the end of this skewer stick so that it can go into a little hole that I've made in the gargoyle, and the hole size didn't quite match up. I was using the larger size mini drill bit that I had, and yeah, I had to kind of like shave it down a little bit. So I just got some super glue. I found the activator that I have, and the idea now is to just kind of give it a good old go. So I'm just trying to get some super glue on the end of this, and then basically just kind of prod it into the gargoyle so that I can hold him. I'm going to spray some activator on him in just a second. Might not need the activator because I've discovered that when you like use this super glue and kind of push it into a tight space, that tight space is kind of all it really needs. I think that if you're using the activator, if you've got like a big thing and it's kind of like the object that you're trying to glue is somewhere inside, you can spray this and it kind of goes all over the outside and it kind of like just kind of runs in, and if it gets anywhere near super glue, it just kind of instantly sets it off, even if it's like inside the model. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Yeah, so you don't have to like spray it directly onto your super glue. It just kind of has to like be nearby. It's kind of cool, really, when you think about it. Just making sure that I've got no shaved bits of model sitting around anywhere, because I made a bit of a mess while I was drilling. There we go. Lovely. He's kind of drying there. I've got like, it's like a weird cocktail party gone very wrong. Really like that that screaming skull colour, that off-white colour. Really looking forward to now getting the skin colours on there. If you are painting anything this evening, do let me know. I'm genuinely interested to know what it is that you're painting. You can tell me about it here in the live chat or in the comments down there if you're watching retrospectively, like quite a few of our viewers do. I would love to see some photos. Do feel free to put them on Facebook, put them on Discord, where I can go and have a little look at them later on and share them with the rest of the community as well. That would be wonderful if you are so inclined to do so. Because of course we're not just here on YouTube, we're also on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Discord, and all the links to all those platforms are all just down there where you can go and have a little look if you want to. If you do like what we do, please do consider subscribing, because it makes my world go round, and it makes me happy, and we're doing so well. The community is growing. It's not for everybody, and I think that's kind of cool, because when people stick around, it's for the right reasons. So yeah, tell a friend, tell someone about it at work, go and scream about it in the shops or something. Easy 8 online painting club. Don't, you'll look like a weirdo, and there's only room enough for me to be a weirdo in this club. Yeah, I don't know, just subscribe, that'd be great. Do a thumbs up as well. I love a thumbs up, that's my new thing. Hit the thumbs up button. It's like there somewhere. Is it here? It's here, isn't it? If you just look down there, if you've got it on a large screen, it's just there. Just push that little thumbs up. Don't do the thumbs down button. No. Cool. Anyway, do you know what? Let's go to the workbench. It's getting weird over here. Yeah, here we go. So I've got a gargoyle on a stick. Yep, just kind of waiting for that to sort of dry. I think it really has. It just means now that I can hold it and paint it, and hopefully it will make life a little bit easier. Yeah, just as we went away there, I noticed that we had some more comments going in. Leslie said, when you buy them, I think that they're in sets of 8, but in the game you can have 10 or 20. So getting a maximum unit size, you have to buy 3 boxes. I could be wrong, however, and you could get more in a box. Oh, that's a bit weird. I know that you get them in 8s, and I think that you used to be able to put them together in units of 6. So you'd always have like some left over. Yeah, they've never matched up the numbers for what you get in the game to what you get in the box, which is frustrating. But that's their marketing ploy. I like it. Jeff says it might be nice when you get the new rods to do them all different heights. Yeah, we spoke of that one about a minute ago. You can get small ball and socket joints. That would be great to have on them. Yeah, do you know what? I didn't think about that, and I do know about them, and that might be a nice thing to do. Even though I'd end up having to like do lots of them, but it would be quite nice to have them all kind of like swiveling around all over the place. That'd be wicked. Yeah, maybe I'll look into that as well. Leslie says, I'm not painting anything tonight, just eating my breakfast, lunch, dinner, what's it called, where it's the only meal you've eaten at the day, food. But yeah, starting to feel tired. Cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming along for the journey. Right, so let's get some more paint in the palette. I'm going to get some more of the Screaming Skull in there, and I'm going to put a drop of airbrush flow improver in. I put like about 3 good scoops of paint into the palette. Watch yourself there, mate. About 3 good scoops, and then a drop of flow improver. So it's about 3 to 1. Flow improver to this paint there, and it seems to be a good blend, a good mix. Just a little drop of that in there too. There you go. Lovely. Just going to mix that in, and now that I've got my water, I can actually clean my brush up properly as well. Today feels like it's like one of those cursed episodes, so like if it's really poor, I'm really sorry. I never mean it to be. Obviously, I want it to look the best that I can, and I'm not a tech whiz. I'm not good at what I do. I just enjoy doing what I do, and you know, I just like to bring the hobby to people who, you know, want to get connected. I do strive my hardest around a job that has nothing to do with this, and trying to balance the two can be quite difficult at times. So I'm really sorry if it isn't looking at its best sometimes. I'm sorry if I come to the show not as prepared as what I could be. I love what we do, and I hope that I'm able to sort out this flicky camera. I was gonna buy another one, because in the pursuit of greatness, don't believe in perfection, but in the pursuit of excellence, I thought that it would be nice to have one for me too. But I didn't, not yet anyway. I was going to get one on Prime Day because it was a little bit cheaper, but I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to do it yet. I'm still trying to learn the ways of, you know, trying to work out the best exposures and lighting and whatever for this new camera. It's got a great what do you call it, resolution, which is fantastic. But I haven't kind of mastered it yet. Not that I ever really mastered the other webcams, but I had them for such a long time that I was able to play with them for a long time and get them to look good, you know. And I acquired those webcams over a long time, and I just need to take my time with the other ones as well. Got a little bit of this colour on that finger bone there, so I'm just going to wash the brush out and just wipe that off while it's still fresh. Just a little bit. Nice. Cool. Jeff says, I'm working on a spooky house. It's an old tower house with a front blown out, showing the floors. It has a well up the bottom floor that lights up. Will all be covered in snow. That's going to look brilliant. I would absolutely love to see a picture of that if you're allowed to. I understand that all your all your models that you make off for customers who may not necessarily want us to see them. And of course, you know, it's your customer, so you have to look after your customer. Naturally, but yeah, I would love to see a photo of that. What a great idea as well, and I love the fact that it goes, you know, through into the well. A spooky house. What game would that be for? Or is it just for something display purposes, or is it just for the fun of it? That'd be great. Leslie says it's looking, it's still a killer looking episode, buddy. Thank you so much. That's great. I like the rawness of it. I like it when things go wrong. I grew up in the theatre, darling, so I'm used to things kind of going wrong. When you're first starting out, of course, it's terrifying because you think the internet's going to judge you, and it probably does. Of course it does. And you want every show to be awesome because you want your show to grow and stuff. Sometimes things just go wrong. Like your snips exploding, just as you're telling the world how they're the best snips you've ever used. Because sometimes the internet wants you to learn a lesson in humility. Frostgrave, I think. Ah, wicked. Do you know, we'll actually talk about Frostgrave a little while ago, because Mike Robinson, who sometimes joins us on the show, not Mike Turner, who's watching today, another Mike, he took me and Kez a little while ago and taught us how to play bolt action, which was wonderful, but has also recently acquired Frostgrave and was offering to teach us that at some point as well. And it sounds like a really interesting game, and I've not played it before, so yeah, I'm kind of sort of familiar with it. Jeff says it's good when things go a little wrong, a bit more real. Thank you very much. I've also got that little heart thing, that's that little icon of a heart that's appeared in my live chat, so it's kind of covering up a little bit of what you guys are saying, so that's come back again today. Get rid of that for a second, it's a bit easier. Painting the underside here. Trying to kind of remind myself that this isn't the colour, so yeah, it feels like, oh, I've nearly got the wings done, but this isn't. This is just the base, isn't it? So while I'm on the underside here, I'm just trying to not be so precious about it, and just try and get a little bit of the lost time back, because every model is, you know, it's all about time, isn't it? That's kind of the cost. Trying to keep it nice and fast. Now, it's actually, as far as painting in the lines goes, it's actually quite an easy one to paint. These little finger digits here, as long as the paint is smooth, they're a really nice feature to paint up to. And some of them, they've almost got like a little dip that appears just before you need to kind of stop. So when I run a little wash around it later on, it should run into that and really pick out the definition. Difference between the yellow flesh and the you know, the skin coloured wings. I'm just going to get my tweezers in there because, where are they? These ones here, because there's like a little hair that's just stuck to the inside of his foot. I don't know if you can see that in there. Yeah, just here. Yeah, got him. Nice, thank you. Lovely. And now, just like on the other side there, you can see that there's this little thumb flap, if you want to call it that. And now just on the underside there too. Made a bit of a pig's ear of that one, so wash the brush off, then just go in and clean that area up again. Got that colour all up the arm there. Nice. Okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this little critter comes out. So, you can just dry for a second there. I'm going to wash my brush out properly. And then I'm going to come over with that skin colour and see what happens. Leslie says, humility, humanity, humanitary, is the tree. I don't know where you're going with that, bro, but it sounds cool. Someone showed a pic the other day of the first Nids. Good God, they were bad. Yeah, weren't they? Some of them were great. I like the concepts of all of them, but they weren't. They look like a horror movie from the same era, don't they? Don't they? Yeah, they were bad. But I had them. You must remember them. They were in the same house as you, and we thought that they were kind of cool. But it just goes to show you how well that things have evolved sculpturally. You know what I mean? That gives me a cup of tea. Stafford says, so I'm playing Silly Buggers and making a Primaris Beaky with a studded shoulder pad. Oh, cool. Well, I'd love to see that if you've got time to take a photo. Are you just kind of like, chopping them up out of like the kind of old school Marines, or have you got like a Primaris model that you're kind of chopping up, or just sticking a Beaky, a helmet on a new Space Marine? I'd be interested to know. Anyway, let's move over to a different side of the palette here. Really need to clean it out, but you know, who's got time for that? I'm going to give this a really good waz. Stafford. Waiting for you, man. I'm going to push it at a time where I think that you're going to type it. It must be about now. No, I still got in there first. It's a kit bash as I refuse to use Primaris. Yeah, fair enough. There we go. Doesn't matter now, man. You're delayed. You're too late. Too late. This is quite a nice colour, this. I don't really know how it shows up on the monitor because remember, this monitor here is not that good. My partner's got a PC downstairs in the office, which we don't use anymore. It was for her. She doesn't use the office space anymore, and she doesn't use a PC very much. So we're going to put her PC into storage, and she's got a really nice monitor with it. So while I put everything into the... I'm in the attic now, and there's like the eaves storage on either side of me, just over there, like a little cupboard. And I'm going to put the computer in there, and I'm going to pinch the monitor. It's a really nice one, so hopefully it'll give me much better insight into what the show's looking like as it goes. Right, here we go. It's actually quite hard to hold it with that cork on there. I'm going to keep it there for now. Right, so this side to start with. Let's get this fleshy colour on. Okay, it's quite a nice colour. Designed for the airbrush, so I haven't thinned it down or anything. Got a cat hair on the brush because you've got to have one of those every episode. There we go. Go away. Stay still. Wants to move around in my hands. What do you think? Is that nice? Is that good? I like it. Might come back over with a second coat perhaps. See what it looks like. Leslie says, because cats are awesome, cats are life, cats are law, cats are gods, they must be obeyed. Long live the cat hair, embrace it. Yeah, no, do you know what? I'm actually on board with that. If you live in my house, you've got to embrace the cat hair. It's embarrassing. It's everywhere. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of DIY the other day, putting up some blinds in the house. Took me ages. And my cats like to sit in the window sometimes and just kind of watch the world go on outside and kind of chatter about the birds and things. Because my living room is on the first floor. So one floor up from the ground. So they get to see all the birds on the wire literally outside the window, and they love it. But what me and my partner had failed to see is the large amount of fur deposit that they put on the back of the curtain as they brushed past it to get into the window. And oh my god, it took ages. And as I was brushing it around, it was just flying around in the air. It was going everywhere. I had to hoover the air. Let that sink in for a minute. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really like letting them up here in the studio. They love to eat models, so that's never a great start. But if they're up here all the time, then yeah, there'd be cat fur on everything. And it's nice to paint in a cat fur-free studio, you know? It's on my clothes, it's on my uniform, it's everywhere. And, you know, like it's not like I'm a dirty person. I clean the house, man. I hoover daily. I actually had to buy a special Dyson, which mounts to the wall, so it's easier to nip around the house with, just because I'm hoovering so much. Carrying a big traditional hoover around everywhere I would go would just be impossible. Now, my old cat, who passed away just over, probably about 18 months ago, maybe a little bit less, Newt, she was my best friend. She was such a lovely cat. She was a long-haired, pure white cat, super fluffy, like a little cloud, and like her fur would be everywhere. But we maintained it by grooming. These cats that we've got now, they're short-haired cats. And they're very active, they're very young, but they just don't like being brushed, so you can't maintain, you just can't keep on top of it. So yeah, I have to suffer with cat fur being on everything, in my models, in my paint, in my life, in my eyes, probably in my lungs, who knows. Darren's come to join us. Hi Darren, nice to see you again, mate. I hope you're doing well. Are you working on anything this evening, or anything lately? At the time? Have you been working a lot? Who knows? I like it. So that's the skin colour for the wings. I'm going to give it another coat, I think, because I think it needs it. If I compare this to what it was, the blank colour, the off-white colour, there it is underneath. And there it is on top. I really like it. I've been really looking forward to doing wings for such a long time. So, yay for me. Let me wash my brush out. I've pretty much used all that paint, so I'm just going to put another drop or two in the palette so I can do the undersides. Then I'm going to let that dry, and I'm hoping to get some like filter on there. 25 minutes left to go. It would be a nice way to finish up the show today, wouldn't it? Right. What I'm really enjoying about this is how fast it is, and it's actually a joy to paint. It's like it's not a chore, which is great. Let me just move that cork so you can better see what's going on there. I'll zoom in a little bit for you as well. How's that? Better, isn't it? Jeffers. Brigadine. It's actually a very cool colour for the wings. Very nicely done. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Oh, I see. Darren is making a Brigadine. Cool. Such a smooth colour to work with. I've been wanting to do a skin colour project for a while. Been thinking about, you know, doing like a little project, working on like a bust or something. Getting, you know, really getting into like masterclass style painting. Not that I'm masterclass quality, but you know what I mean, like actually really going for it with all the shades and purples and colours and things that you can do with fleshes. Just learning to do something nice and different. But you know, right now I just thought that I'd carry on with my collection. I'm 41 years old. I want to do more in the 41st millennium. It just kind of, it sounds poetic, so I really wanted to focus on Warhammer for a little while. But it's definitely something that I would like to do. One underside done. Did I paint the tops of those thumb bits? I did. Okay, cool. Now onto the final side here, the final underside. Because I'm not really going to see the underside as much as I will the top, I'll only do the one coat underneath. I don't think there's any need to do a second coat underneath. I will do one on the top to see how it differs, and just to kind of give that opacity with this colour. Yeah, I don't think there's a need to go on the underside with two coats. Again, it's the cost of painting, isn't it? It's time. Save that time. If I've got to do what Leslie says, 10 of these bad boys, then yeah, I'm going to need to pull my finger out. We're almost there though. What I'm really enjoying about this is that there are absolutely no brush strokes going in here. Every time I'm making a pass with the brush, it's going really smoothly, really fast. I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves as well. I hope you haven't broken any tools like I have, because I've broke my tools today. I can't believe I did that, man. Yeah, that is a sick looking colour. Okay, do you know what? Let that dry a bit. I'm going to wash my brush out. I'm going to go back for another pass. I'm going to do it. Darren says, I found myself in the local Games Workshop earlier. Some very cool stuff. Yes, with the new release of the game, there's lots of cool stuff, lots of new sculpts going in there. I'm very excited by it all. One of the reasons why I'm actually here painting Tyranid this evening, because it's just time that I pressed on. Yeah, looking forward to playing some games with it soon. I need to pop up there myself tomorrow. I'm going to go in and get some paints, and I'm sure I'm going to be sitting there rubbing my hands together with an evil laugh at all the new Tyranid models. I'm not going to be buying any models. Like I say, I've got more than enough stuff. However, I would like a lictor. I'm not going to buy one yet. I would like a custom, maybe. Do one, I don't know. But I've got a feeling that they're going to make a new lictor sculpt at some point. And while I like the lictor sculpt, I want to see what else is on the horizon. You know, I think it'd be nice to see. Previous iterations of the game have said that, you know, lictors work better in pairs or even threes. I like to play smaller games, so is it entirely necessary to have multiple lictors? Maybe it is, to have like one or two. They are one of my favourite units in the game. I just like the idea of them. The previous version models of the lictor was really good, and they made the Death Leaper, which is like a character style lictor, and I never really liked him very much, and they've just redone him, and I don't like him very much. Doesn't appeal to me. Some people really like it, and it is a personal thing. I think it is better than the previous version that they've done on him, but he's got this like weird, almost octopus-like skirt underneath it, for literally no reason. Like it's sculpted well, it looks really good, but it just looks a little bolt-on, if that makes sense. Like I don't like where they were going with it. It just was an unnecessary feature that felt like they tried to cram too many details in on one model, which is a shame. Another my god. Gotcha. So yeah, I'm not gonna get this Death Leaper model. I might like kit bash something in the future, maybe. But they've released the new creature called the Von Ryan's Leaper, and it's like a smaller lictor unit. So where I might need like multiple lictors in my force, maybe they're the particular creature to use. The Von Ryan's Leaper, while it's a mouthful and a bit of a weird name, is one of those models that they've created from stories and stuff that they've, you know, not necessarily stories, but you know, like in all their source material, like all their codexes and things, they've talked about mysterious creatures on other planets, and one of the creatures that they mentioned was a Von Ryan's Leaper, and the story in the book was, you know, it resembles Tyranid life forms. It's speculated that it could be a type of Tyranid creature, one that we don't really encounter very much. Is it? Is it not? And this new version of the rules has said, yes, it is, and we've now made a model for it, and it is now a part of your standard army if you want it to be. Because they were looking for new sculpts to make, right? To make new models for the game. And I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of grown on me. So we'll see, really, I suppose. Is it something that I'll have? It's something that I could certainly consider if I feel that I only want one lictor, but I've got like a battlefield need to have multiple. It's like a mixture between a lictor and a Hormigaunt, and Hormagaunts are my other favourite unit in the Tyranid army. So maybe it's a good thing to have, like my two favourite things all rolled into one, and they come in threes. Well, when you buy them, they do. It might be that they come in fours when you have to like play with them, forcing you to buy 3 boxes. That's the colour that we're going with here, and that looks really, really nice. Really, really nice. I'm into that. So I'm going to let that dry, because I want to come over it all with a wash now. As we've learned a couple of weeks ago, if I'm washing something, I really need to varnish it first. So I'm just going to let that dry for a minute, and yeah, I might even hit it with a varnish before I go and do some washes and stuff. Might even try and get a little bit of the grey on there too, but maybe I'll do that after the washes. What do you guys think of that as a fleshy wing colour? Personally, I like it, and it wasn't a chore to paint. Like I'm fairly confident if I had all these primed up and yellowed up and ready to go, I could smash out like half a dozen of these in an evening quite easily. And that's great, right? That's a great thing. Just don't break my clippers when I'm doing it, right? Stefan says a lictor-gaunt, basically. Yeah, a lictor-gaunt. The chat's getting away from me. It's very cool stuff. Did aliens just drop you there? Yes, why not? Is anyone local up for a visit to Cobberton? Yes, I would love to go to Cobberton. We're just trying to find the time. At work, we are moving into a different type of product, so the weeks are going to be more stressful but more streamlined. I'm going to lose my Saturdays, but I'll probably gain my Sundays, and I might get a little bit of regularity to the 6 weeks of the summer. So we'll see what happens. I would love to arrange an Easy 8 trip to Cobberton Combat Museum. It's convenient for me and some of the community because it's very nearby, but it is actually a nice little collection of stuff. It started off as some dude who just collected some like historical artifacts and, you know, memorabilia and whatever, and over the years it kind of got out of hand. So it is now a proper like museum. A small one, but it is a museum. Oh. Excuse me. So there's a few of us that really, really want to go. If you're interested, drop me a line if you're not entirely sure how to get there or where to go. And it'll be a hoot, hopefully. Darren says, yeah, they woke up from a trance and I was in there. Where you probed? I don't want to go there. Okay. Oi, a builder, let me have a load of pink foam. So if you want to build a Nid hive ship, that would be cool. I agree with Leslie. I wouldn't know where to start, but you know what? I'll give it a go. Let's do something with that. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Multiple times, still talking about being probed by aliens. Great, cool. Bug's a bug. Yeah, bug's a bug. Looks killer. Thank you very much. I really like it. It's such a simple thing. This colour. I'm not going to go over the top with details on it. I might play around with some different washes and shades and things to kind of get where I want to go with it. I want to basically add like a sepia wash all the way around the outside edges of it, and I might add a little bit of sort of a reddish hue to it. I don't really know yet. We'll see what happens, but hopefully it will look really, really nice. Maybe I'll just add like a little bit of red just on some like the frayed edges and things to make them look a little bit blooded. You know, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Like around the holes and things, that would look really cool. And some raggedy edges, just make them look a little bit torn up. That looks sweet. I have seen someone painting wings that were a little bit bigger than this, where they've actually painted like a faint purple vein underneath the surface of the skin. So they've just done this very, very faint vein shape, almost like a lightning sort of streak if you like. And then they put a really thin layer of the skin colour back over the top in a thin wash. And it looked really, really good. But I wouldn't do anything with that on these ones because this is a horde creature. The idea is to have multiples of them, and I want to keep them short and simple. If I was to do a bigger creature with wings, like the harpy or the flying hive tyrant that I was talking about earlier on, then sure, I would have a go at that. But yeah, that's nice, that is. Cool. I might just hit it with a little bit of air. Have I got any airlift in the airbrush? I've got a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's do it. Just kind of let that just dry down a little bit. I have just noticed that I've missed a bit, so I'm going to have to go back in and do that. That's the undersides of the thumb strips. So while it's drying, I suppose I'll go and do that. I'll use my slightly smaller brush for this one. Oh, no, that needs a wash. I'll stay with this one. Okay, cool. Another drop to go. That's Leslie saying, I must make my leave. Thanks again for an awesome show later, guys. Thanks very much, Leslie. See you again, man. Take care of yourself. That's an order. There's just these little bits underneath here. The thummy edges. There we go, that's nice. Only took a second there, didn't it? Yeah. Cool. We are coming close to the end of the show. It's been a cursed show, but I've really enjoyed it this evening. Thank you for your company as always. Sorry for the shambolic appearance to it today. Are you having an after party? Couple of 40k things I wanted to ask you. Yes, I am always on at the end of the show, even if it's for a little bit. I'll say always. There might be a reason why one day I'm not, but yes, I do try to be there as often as I possibly can, so I can have a chat with you guys and see how things are and catch up and talk about things 40k related. So yeah, I'll do my very best to be there, man. You can go and join me and anybody else like Darren who's going to come along to the Easy 8 after party on Discord at the end of the show. If you feel like you want to have a little chat or even just kind of type to us while we're sat there on the video call, and you can just type to us if you want to. Feel a bit more camera shy. Some people are, right? That's okay. Let's pop that back down there. So I'm gonna get a little bit of Seraphim, I think. That's why I need to go to Games Workshop tomorrow. I've hardly got anything left in there. What I'm going to do is get some... Yeah, and I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add a little bit of medium to it to water it down. Make it a little bit more opaque. trace the outside edges of the wings and see what happens. Where's my medium? Is that the medium that I'm using? I think it is. Yeah, Lamia medium. No need to shake. No, no, no. Okay. Get a big splooge of that. Add that in. There we go. Well, I'm gonna take my time here and see what happens. So, I'm literally just gonna go around the finger edges to start with. So around the outsides, but not the edge down here. It looks like it might be a little bit too watered down, perhaps. I could try watering or wetting down the surface so that when I apply the wash, like using a thinner and an enamel over the top, it will help guide it into some of the creases. A bit more on the brush. Might be that I've added too much medium. Use a wet brush tip just to sort of feather away that colour a little. Do you know what? I actually quite like that. I like it covered all over. Works quite nicely, that does. Yeah, that's better like that, isn't it? And when it starts to pool, I'm just gonna pick that colour up again with the tip of a wet brush. Like that. Cool, alright. Let's keep going. Don't stop. Get some water on that wing. There we go. I have to make a little bit more here. I don't want to leave a bit of an angle because the paint might start to run. So I'm just going to pop in my little polystyrene block here that the old man made me. Thanks, mate. Jeff says a hive ship would be quite a thing to turn up to a show with. Just dump it down and say, I win. Yeah. You do like to have that sort of approach to your game style, don't you? You're quite like that with your nuclear warheads as well. Like a one-shot win. I like the way you think. Well, I'm going to get some more seraphim here. Excuse me. Seraphim in the palette. I'm going to add a little touch of, just like a paintbrush loads worth of medium, and that helps water it down. But if you add water to a shade or to a filter, it just breaks the surface tension, and it turns it more into like a pin liner, if you like a panel liner, which is great, but I want this to kind of help filter the colour that I'm working with there, so I want it to cling more to flat surfaces, which is why I'm using medium rather than water. So there you go. Now you know. I'll add just a little bit more to that. There we go, that's better. I'm having a great time here, by the way. Now I can put that away. Lovely. Get a bit of water on this brush. Wet this surface down. Trying to be careful there, because where the paint's already settled on, it's going to start making little tea stains or coffee stains. And I really don't want that to happen. It'll ruin everything. Looking good. Oops, hit my lamp there with my paintbrush. I'm trying to get a little bit of sort of that panel line, if you like, just along the edge of the arm. And I've got like the wrong sort of mix of the colour with the medium. It's kind of doing the opposite of what I was explaining a minute ago. I have to come back to that little bit there. But, you know, the colour is looking really good. So that's cool. Right, on this side now, I'm going to do a slop of water. There we go. Going for the colour. Got my quiet voice on again. I'm very well aware of that. I do apologise for not talking on this show that I normally talk a lot on. But I'm in the zone, man, and you can't stop me, alright? So before I go too far, I'm just going to go in and collect this big pile of pool. This pile here as well. I want to take it all away from the surface. Just want to lift the big puddles. I just want to take it away, really. Leaving some of the patination on there because it looks kind of cool. Get this little bit done here. I'm just going to do the top sides for now, and I'm going to do the undersides on Discord. So if you want to watch me kind of finish it off, then that's where I'm going to be doing this too. I think I added too much medium a minute ago when I was saying, oh, I think I need to add a bit more. I think the problem that I'm having on this side is that I've added a bit too much. good things about using droppers is that, you know, you can always get like a precise amount, and I did not use my dropper today. Just went in for the brush. That's looking good though. That's a nice colour. Bit of pooling there. That was a bit of a shame, isn't it? Never mind. And now I've got those little bits on the insides where the thumbs are. There we go. I think that looks sick, as the kids say. Only the cool kids though. And I'm feeling pretty cool right now with this very awesome looking skin colour for wings. I hope you guys all think the same. I'm kind of in love with that. I'm just going around the outside edges there now. Just trying to bring in a little bit more definition, but I'm probably going to ruin it. So I should probably hold off there, because I can always come back in and do a little bit of panel lining on it in a minute. So yes, stuff's got to go. See you later. Cheers, mate. Bye bye. Take care. Just googled hive ship. It's a big squid, isn't it? Yeah, it's the size of a small moon. it's big. Yeah, but they have different types of things, so you still could do something with foam. It'll be great. What do you think? I think it looks awesome. I will do like a watered down version of this colour, and I will go right in up against the edges of the fingers with it as well, and that should you know, help draw the definition of those wings out. And I'm also going to go with a little bit of red in some of the areas, like I was saying a minute ago. Look on the underside, you can see how the colours changed from that to that. I really like that. While that process was a little bit slower, it's definitely something that I'm confident I could get faster at. So in the interest of speed painting a horde army, yes, this is definitely maintainable. I think that's very, very good. It's a lovely colour. Oops, span him around there. Can't wait to kind of get the red on it as well. And then what I'm going to do also is slap a load of Seraphim Sepia over the yellow, but I don't dilute that down. I like it to be heavier, thicker, basically. And that will really kind of work on the yellow. What I'm going to be very careful about is getting that onto the wings. So I'm going to have to give them a varnish once I finish the wings before I can move on to the skin colour. So that's definitely something I need to bear in mind. The reason that I would varnish it is it's going to be easier for me to clean up on the model. If I'm kind of using like a wet brush or something like that, kind of, you know, wiping away, I could very easily wipe up the colours that I've already painted on there. But you know what? Considering the shambolic start of a show that we've had today, that is a great result, and that's kind of all I wanted to be doing today, which is to have a little look at playing around with wing colours, and I love it. So yay me. Let me just pop that in my little foam block. Nice. Wings. First time I've done them. Love it. Anyway, do you know what? Going to move away from here now. It is really janky on the show tonight, and I'm fairly certain it's because there's a little hidden update going somewhere on my PC, and I apologise for that. I every week I do try to make sure there's nothing going on in the background to prevent things like that from happening, but it looks like something has got through the net. But do you know what? If it's going to happen today. I can't believe I broke my nippers. That's really upsetting. Never mind, it happens. The thing is that I can't even use them for something else. So they've got a really nice set of handles on them, but I can't use them because there's nothing on the end of them. It's broken off. Anyway, look, I've had a cracking evening tonight painting this little fella up, and I'm really looking forward to doing lots more with them. So over the next week, I'm going to try and get the rest of them all kind of cleaned up, and snipped all the little rods off, get them all on these skewers, ready to be painted, and hopefully I'll have like a little fleet of flying Tyranids. That'd be great, and I'm hoping that they're not going to be too difficult to paint. Yeah. Hope you've had a great evening this evening. Hope you've been painting lots. Hope that you've found some inspiration, perhaps maybe a little bit of motivation this evening to kind of get some stuff done. Thank you very much for coming along. If you like what we do here, please do consider subscribing to the show, because it really does help the community grow. And that's what this is all about. It's all about bringing people together, painting their collections, just having some company while we all kind of do the hobby that we really, really love. If you are interested in getting in contact for any reason, because over the last few weeks I've been talking about lots of things that are going on in the future of EZ8 that are coming up very soon and at the end of the year as well, do drop me a line. You can get in contact with me on Facebook, here on YouTube. I've got, in the comment section down there. You can even talk to me privately through Facebook if you want to. Discord, man, you can just get in contact with me so easily, or you can wait for the next week's show and come and have a chat with me on the live chat, because that's how this works, right? So I'll look forward to speaking to you if you do. Anyway, give it a thumbs up as well. Why not? Because thumbs up are great. That really helps the video succeed in life. In danger of outstaying my welcome, I'm going to go now. So until next week, take care, be kind, and stay safe. Keep on painting, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye. I broke my nippers. Can't believe it. Live on air.